Now that we know what a hardware actually is, let me tell you guys a little secret. And the secret is that hardware only understands zeros and ones. So you may ask me, well, if the hardware only understands zeros and one, but whenever we play a movie, we don't see zeros and ones on the screen, right? And we also don't hear zeros and one being chanted by our audio device such as the speaker. So who handles all this? And the answer to that is hardware best friend. And what it is? A software. It is because of the software that we are actually able to see a movie and at the same time hear to the characters in the movie via some output devices like the speaker, or if you are using a earphone, via an earphone. What is a software? Well, software is actually a program, and we already know that program is nothing but lines of codes, a set of instruction, right? That enables a computer to perform a specific task, such as playing a movie. Now this software, it comprises of something known as an application software, and we can take a word processor as an example for the application software. So what a word processor actually does is that it allows the user to perform a task, which in this case is creating a text file, modifying the text file, and then saving of the text file. And then we have something known as a system software, and the example to that is something known as an operating system. So what this operating system actually does is that it allows other software like the application software to run properly. Now in every computer system, the software is divided into three major classes. And what are those? Those are the system software, the programming software, and the application software. Now, in order for the computer to be able to use the software first need to be installed in our computer system, right? And whenever we install a software, what happens is that the software gets loaded into the computer storage, such as our hard drive and our memory or RAM. Now once the software is installed in our computer system, the computer or the CPU is now able to execute the particular software. As we have already discussed in this previously in this video, that a computer operates how? By executing the computer programs. Now the question is, what this execution of computer program involves? Now this involves passing the instruction from where? From our application software, like a movie player. Now the instruction from our application software, it travels all the way to something known as our system software. in this case our operating system, and then from the operating system the instruction is then passed onto the hardware, which receives the instruction as machine code. Now when we say machine code, it's in the form of zeros and ones. Now each instruction of the program, it causes the computer to carry out some operations, and what those operations are: moving our data from one devices to another, or from one let's say from one sector of your storage device to another sector of your storage device, and carrying out computations like if there is addition, subtraction and things like that involved, it does that, or altering the flow of control flow of instruction. If and what does this mean? It means how a set of instruction is to be executed, and this low level language program in turn interacts with the hardware at the very basic level. When we mean at the very basic level, we mean at the assembly language level. Now this system software, it serves as an interface between whom? Between our hardware and the end user. And the examples for our system software are operating system like Windows, Linux, and then we have compilers and interpreters. When we start our programming, we'll be working with these two things, compilers and interpreters, and then we have something called assembler, which is used by our CPU to convert the assembly language into something known as a machine code, which is in terms of zeros and ones. Now that we know what system software actually are and how important the system software is in order to operate, control and extend the processing capabilities of the computer itself, let us now talk about application software. Application software, as the name suggests, is basically lines of codes which is written or designed in order to satisfy a particular need. For example, the Flipkart app which we use in order to buy stuff, right from the grocery to clothing to footwear and so on, is an example for our application software. Likewise, the YouTube app, which allows us to view videos, upload videos, download videos, is also an example for our application software. Likewise, the community app, which you may be using right now in order to view videos based on programming taught by real life engineers and teachers, is also an example for our application software. Now these application software are mainly written by making use of high level languages, and these high level language allows us to write codes which are very similar to English like language. And the example for high level languages are Python, C++, C#, Java, Dart and so on. Well, the community app was made by making use of Dart as the programming language.